Hi everyone, it's Monica and welcome back to Taylor-Made Cards for You. Well, today I'm here to share with you a project pack using one of the newest kits from VectoriaDesigns. And if you're familiar with VectoriaDesigns, you know that she comes up with some awesome packs. Now, the project that I created today is a 4x6 journal, and it's kind of a flip journal. It has lots of pages, and I intentionally created this journal because I wanted to be able to use up as many pages as possible on this little book without actually creating pages, if you know what I mean. So I didn't want to have pages where you actually insert into a journal, but yet I wanted the design to be part of the book. So that's why I decided to do this journal. And not only that, but it's really easy to create. So I thought for some of you designers out there or crafters that love to create journal books but are a little intimidated by them, this is a very easy project for you. And I know that if I can do it, you can too. So I wanted to go ahead and share with you this cute little 4x6 journal book. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the base of the book together. And then once you have the base together, it's just a matter of decorating your pages. So VectoriaDesigns has lots of wonderful images. These are printables that you can just print out on your printer. And what's great about printables is you can resize them. The pages that come in the kit were bigger than the 4x6, but I sized them down to work with my project. And that's what's great about printables is you can size them down to work on any type of design. Now, as you can see, this book is pretty thick. So when I printed out my paper or my images, I printed them out on thinner papers because I didn't want to add to the bulk of my journal page. So that's another thing that you can do is you can choose the thickness of your paper when you're printing out your designs. So before I jump in to sharing with you my journal book, I wanted to go ahead and share with you some of the items that come in this mega kit. Now, when I say mega kit, I'm not kidding you. You're going to get so much in this kit. And what's awesome about this is typically VectoriaDesigns will give you a discount when she releases new packets. So you're going to get journal pages that are sizable in 3 sizes. You're going to get designer paper. You're going to get file and pockets. You're going to get envelopes, tons of embellishments. And then finally, you're going to get some designs to create boxes. So as you can see, this mega pack is jam-packed. So let me go ahead and share with you what I created. Now this journal book measures 4x6 and it folds together really nicely. You're going to get so many pages in this journal book. You're going to be able to utilize so many designer pieces in this kit. So when you open it up initially, it just looks like a regular book, but you continue to open pages as you go along. You have a folding page on the left and on the right, so it folds open really nicely, creating room for journaling, for adding pages of pictures, pages of ephemera, anything you want to add. As you can see, I added a little tea time label, and then I also added a pocket. And one of the ephemera pieces was this cute little door, so I decided to just add an additional flap on this side of the journal. And then once you have all your paper in there, you can easily fold it back up, and it is very compact. Now, the other side does the exact same thing. You're going to be able to just open it up again, as I'm showing you here. I'm opening and closing it really easily, but you can open it up on the right side as well. And I did something a little different on the right side. I ended up adding a die piece where I can add tickets or little pieces of ephemera. VectoriaDesigns has some great ephemera pieces that go along with this kit, so you can easily cut out some of those ephemera pieces and add them to this little file piece. I also added a label, so if I wanted to maybe add a label to my page, I could do that as well. I love this designer paper. I especially love this piece with all of the cards. I just think it's so bright and so vibrant. I just fell in love with this kit. And when you open it up again, you just have more beautiful designer paper. I added a little pocket on the left-hand side, and then I created some pages for journaling as well. So as you can see, you have so much in this mega pack. It just creates for a beautiful journal. Now the base of this journal was very easy to put together, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. There's a couple of things that I would have done differently, and I'm going to talk to you about that right now. So as you can see, the base of this journal is white, and then I ended up layering the designer paper onto black cardstock. Now that's one thing I wouldn't do again, because as you can see, this journal is so thick. Adding the extra layer of black cardstock just added to the thickness of it, and I really don't think that was necessary. And not only that, if I want to add additional ephemera pieces inside, I don't want to add to the thickness by just layering another piece of cardstock. So that's the one thing that I would change up. Okay, so let's talk about the base of this journal book. Like I said, it's going to ultimately measure 4 by 6, so you're going to want to take some cardstock, whether you use black, as I'm doing here, or white, or whatever the case may be. I used 65-pound weight cardstock because, as you can see, you have lots of layers, and you don't necessarily have to get anything thicker than that. So for the base of your journal, you're going to want to cut out 3 pieces that are 8 1/4 wide by 6 long. And you're going to take your scoreboard and you're going to do some scoring on those 3 pieces. Now on the other pieces, which are going to be the inside folding pages, you're going to cut 4 pieces that are 8 by 6. And this is a real easy score. You're just going to score right down the middle at the 4-inch line. All right, so for the 3 pieces that you cut 8 1/4 by 6, we're going to do some scoring, and this is what creates the back side of your book and gives you the ability to be able to add thickness to it. So you're going to take your 8 1/4 by 6-inch piece of cardstock, and you're going to score at 4 inches and again at 4 1/4. And this is going to give you a 1/4 inch spine with 2 pieces measuring 4 inches in width. And that's really what's going to create the base of your book. From here, it's so easy, you guys, to put this together. Let me go ahead and show you how I did it. Okay, so when you're gluing these pieces together, you're going to want to use some strong adhesive because, as you saw, the book is going to be opened and closed. It is a journal book, so you want to make sure that your adhesive and your pages are glued together securely. I like to use wet adhesive because it gives me movement to be able to make sure my pages are lined up perfectly. I find when I'm using double-sided tape, if I have it lined up incorrectly, I'm done. I mean, the double-sided tape isn't going to give you any movement, so you have to make sure that you're precise the first time. And I'm not a precise crafter, so I tend to go towards the wet adhesive. Now, when you glue these pages together, make sure that your pages are folding inward. You don't want to glue your pages where they're folding outward because then you're going to end up having to recrease it, and that could create breaks in your crease. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're putting your book together. Now from here, you're going to go ahead and, like I said, just get your adhesive out and you're going to glue these together. And you're going to glue them exactly like I'm showing you here. So that way you have a book that will close with your flaps on the inside, and then it will fold over again. And you can use your score line to be able to line up your paper correctly. If you've cut it perfectly, which is the 4 by 6, it should line up perfectly for you. And it's just a matter of making sure that you put your paper right up to the crease and test the fold to make sure that it will fold easily for you. Now, when you add your adhesive, if you are using wet adhesive, make sure you give yourself some drying time because this book is going to get a lot of use. You want to make sure that it is completely dry so that way when you open and close it, your paper isn't going to come apart. Now, once you have the base of the book together, then you're going to add the inside flaps. And you're going to do exactly the same thing where you're going to take half of the paper and glue it to the base of the card as I'm doing here. Again, it's going to line up very easily if you scored it perfectly. If it cut exactly 8 by 6, these should fold up really nicely. So again, just take your adhesive, whatever you choose to use. Again, I went with the wet adhesive to make sure that I had movement room. And then I just added my pages to my book. And then as you can see here, it folds up really nicely. And once I have my book together, it's just a matter of adding my designer paper. So as you can see, the base of this journal went together really easily, and now you're ready to add your beautiful designer paper to your journal book. Now, with as many papers and journal pages that you're getting in this mega pack, the sky's the limit on the designs that you can create with this type of a journal. You can mix and match the paper. You can take some of the journal pages and cut them in half like I did here to add them to different pages as well. Now, I sized mine down to fit my 4x6 journal book, so you can do the same. You can make your journal book as big or as small as you want to. But I found by sizing it down to this size, I was able to get 2 pages on one sheet, which really was a saver as well. So I didn't have to print the whole page. I was able to just size it down and print what I needed. And then when I was ready to add the paper to my journal book, then I cut off 1/4 of an inch on the width and 1/4 of an inch on the height, so that way I'll have a nice little border when I go to adhere my paper. Now remember, when you go to add the paper on the front and the back, you do want to make sure that you add some sort of a closure, like I did here with this ribbon, so that way when you do have all of your embellishments inside, you're able to close your journal book. Because this journal book is going to be thick, but if you score it correctly and cut it exactly the 4x6, it will fold up nicely like my book did here. So if you want to get this journal pack, I'm going to leave a link to Victoria Designs below in my description box. And remember, she does offer some awesome discounts. So try to grab this mega pack within the first few days, because she typically gives you the best discounts when she releases her project packs. And I hope that you've enjoyed my design for using this project pack. I was really excited that I was able to add so many pages to this journal book, and I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun creating with this pack as well. Thanks again to Victoria Designs for allowing me to utilize this beautiful kit to share with you my journal, and I hope that you enjoyed the share. So before you head out, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed my video, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. All right, everybody, thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll see you again next time.